That's a big shout, Gary Lineker makes Jude Bellingham claim when asked about Man United's Kobbie Mainoo. Former England striker Gary Lineker has lauded Man United midfielder Kobbie Mainoo after his role in Saturday's FA Cup final. Match of the Day host Gary Lineker believes the sky is the limit for Manchester United youngster Kobbie Mainoo, comparing him to Real Madrid sensation Jude Bellingham. Mainoo was on target in United's 2-1 win over rivals Manchester City in Saturday's FA Cup final at Wembley. He netted his side's second goal of the game, finishing off an excellent team move. It marked another special moment in the 19-year-old's development. He has developed at a rapid rate of knots this season and is in contention to make England's final squad for the European Championship this summer. Mainoo made his England debut in March and linked up with Bellingham in midfield. Many have suggested they could join forces in the engine room in Germany this summer. And for Lineker, the United youngster's confidence reminds him of Bellingham, who is still widely regarded as the most exciting youngster in the world. The sky is the limit, I think, said Lineker, addressing Mainoo's potential on the Rest is Football podcast. I'm impressed with his remarkable maturity, his confidence. I think he knows how good he is. He reminds me in that sense of Bellingham. I know that's a big shout, but he's 2 years younger. I think he's remarkably talented. I think he will feature in the Euros, I don't know where and when. Gareth Southgate was in the stands at the FA Cup final, and everyone in the ground could see how good he was, how confident he was. You can see he's got almost an aura about him, the right sort of confidence. Mainoo ended the campaign with 32 first-team appearances to his name, including 24 in the Premier League. He last failed to start a league fixture for the Reds on December 9. Goldbridge wants INEOS out if Man United bring in Tuchel. Manchester United appear to be contemplating sacking Erik Ten Hag, and Mark Goldbridge isn't happy about the situation. Man United are reportedly considering replacing Erik Ten Hag with Thomas Tuchel. INEOS should go if this decision is made, according to Mark Goldbridge. United recently won the FA Cup, but it's been a disappointing season overall. Manchester United are reportedly contemplating getting rid of Erik Ten Hag, with Thomas Tuchel lined up as a replacement, and presenter Mark Goldbridge has called for INEOS to go if they make that decision. Although it's been a disappointing season when you look at the Premier League table, the Red Devils have come away with an FA Cup trophy to their name, beating their rivals Manchester City. United have had plenty of injury issues to deal with. Casemiro has regularly been used in an unfamiliar centre-back role. The Manchester outfit have been linked with a host of different managers, including Tuchel, who will be leaving Bayern Munich this summer. Goldbridge questions Man United decision. They could replace Ten Hag with Tuchel. According to The Guardian reporter Jamie Jackson, Bayern manager Tuchel is the frontrunner to replace Ten Hag at Old Trafford. United believe that he has the temperament to handle the playing squad, while the Red Devils also have an admiration for his impressive CV. Reacting to the news on Sunday, the United stand presenter Goldbridge has called for INEOS to leave if they decide to replace Ten Hag with Tuchel. If they sack Ten Hag for Tuchel, INEOS out. Removing Ten Hag from his position might seem slightly harsh after they just beat the Premier League champions, but the Red Devils finished in 8th position in England's top flight this season. The Manchester outfit also had a negative goal difference, highlighting some of the major issues they have had this campaign. It's been a far from perfect season for Ten Hag, but it's a similar story for Tuchel, who United are reportedly considering bringing to Old Trafford. Bayern, who often win the Bundesliga at a canter, missed out to Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen this term. The German club ended the campaign without a trophy, but it's Tuchel's previous achievements that will be attractive to INEOS. Fabrizio Romano provides latest Man United update. Ten Hag's situation remains open, with reports suggesting that Ten Hag was to be sacked after the FA Cup. Regardless of the result, Italian journalist Fabrizio Romano has provided a Sunday morning update on his future. As it stands, United are yet to confirm an official decision on the future of the Dutch tactician. Romano has claimed that his situation remains open at the moment, with United yet to come to a final verdict. The Red Devils have been speaking to other managers as they assess their options, but they are yet to speak to Ten Hag about his future at the club. The 5 managers Man United have identified to replace Erik Ten Hag. Kieran, McKenna and Thomas Tuchel are 2 of the favourites to replace Erik Ten Hag at Old Trafford. Erik Ten Hag will reportedly be let go by Manchester United after the FA Cup final, regardless of the result. The Red Devils have already identified 5 possible replacements for the former Ajax man. Those candidates include a former United coach and a man who was made unemployed only recently, less than 24 hours before the FA Cup final. A bombshell has been dropped as it is being reported that Erik Ten Hag will be sacked as Manchester United manager regardless of tomorrow's result. The Dutchman has struggled to build on the momentum he garnered in his first season, leaving him vulnerable as United's new minority shareholders INEOS look to stamp their authority on the club. With the 54-year-old's future set to lie away from Old Trafford, The Guardian has revealed the 5 names that are being shortlisted as Ten Hag's replacement, including a former United coach and a man who left his previous job earlier this week. Kieran McKenna. Ipswich Town the favourite for the job and the man who is at the forefront of the managerial merry-go-round this summer. Kieran McKenna left his role at United as a first-team coach to take over at Ipswich in 2021. In that time he has guided the Tractor Boys to back-to-back promotions, which will see them back in the Premier League for the first time in 22 years. His success had reportedly caught the eye of Brighton, who saw the 38-year-old as the ideal replacement for the outgoing Roberto De Zerbi. Then, the football world was stunned to find out that Mauricio Pochettino had left Chelsea and that McKenna was a name on the Blues' shortlist to take over. This development has seemingly caused a frenzy at Old Trafford. Perhaps desperate to not miss out on the young prodigy, United reportedly reached out to McKenna's representatives yesterday about the managerial hot seat, and he could be the man to usher in the latest project at the club. Mauricio Pochettino. Free agent. Without this man leaving his post at Stamford Bridge, there is a chance we never see this sequence of events happen. It seemed as though things were looking more promising for Mauricio Pochettino on the pitch, with Chelsea's end-of-season form guiding them to an unlikely spot in Europe next season. The Argentine often cast doubt on his future though. This turned out to be for good reason, when it was revealed he would be leaving the club with immediate effect. This now leaves him open to any move his heart desires. So, why not finally fill the prophecy that has seemed to be destined for Pochettino for years? United have been long admirers of the former Tottenham boss, and he was believed to be one of the favourite to take the job in 2022 before falling short to Ten Hag. With nothing standing in his way, Sir Jim Ratcliffe may look to a man with Premier League experience to finally take the job he has seemingly been destined for. Graham Potter. Free agent. How about another one of Todd Boehly's casualties? Graham Potter was the man the American first put his faith in after getting rid of Chelsea's Champions League winning manager Thomas Tuchel early into his reign as head honcho of the football club. The Englishman's stock was high following a wonderful stint at Brighton. It seemed inevitable he was ready for the next step, but his time in London was nothing short of a failure. He left the club with a win record of just 39% and his reputation in tatters. Potter hasn't taken a job since then, but has been linked with the likes of Ajax and West Ham in the past. At just 49 years old, there is still plenty of life left in the former Swansea City boss, and he is still one of the biggest names available on the free agent market. Could this be enough to tempt the powers that be at Old Trafford to give him another chance at the big time? Thomas Tuchel. Free agent. The first man to have felt the wrath of Todd Boehly at Chelsea. Maybe this will be an ownership regime he can gel with. Thomas Tuchel has long been linked with the Manchester United job, especially since it was announced that he would be leaving Bayern Munich after a difficult campaign which saw them drop to third in the Bundesliga. The German is reportedly keen on a move back to the Premier League, with the Red Devils at the top of his list of teams to take charge of. What may let him down is his assertions that he is not a manager to build a project around, but rather one who can fix things quickly. It seems that Sir Jim Ratcliffe would like to go in the opposite direction, meaning Tuchel's profile may not align with the English billionaire's vision. Thomas Frank. Brentford. Out of all the names, Thomas Frank is the one who appears to be the least likely to take over at Old Trafford. Nevertheless, the fact he is even being brought up in the discussion shows just how highly respected the job he has done at Brentford is. The Bees made it a third successive season in the Premier League without being relegated. This task was not made easy with the absence of talisman Ivan Toney for half the season and the departure of goalkeeper David Raya. Nonetheless, the Dane was able to get over these obstacles to guide his club back to safety. His dedication to the cause was underlined by the fact he was on the touchline a day after finding out his father had passed away. The 50-year-old is also one of the names on the shortlist to replace Pochettino at Stamford Bridge. If a big move doesn't happen for him this summer, it seems only a matter of time before Frank gets that call.